For sure, a lot of the craft kits that SaltEcrafter reviews come from online purchases. Some brave souls actually send products to be reviewed. And then other times, craft kits just come her way while she's walking. It's almost like she's a craft kit magnet in which, you just walk around, suddenly in nature, there's a crap kit. And with saltiest of intentions, she definitely has to bring it back in. Aww. And so for this week's salty review, we're going to be adding some seasoning to Crayola's Mix Your Own Lip Gloss. Crayola has notoriously been getting some really bad reviews because they're giving us subpar products. You can only go so long with a name and reputation. If you can't uphold that, Crayola, we watching you. This kit cost me about $15 Canadian, and I can already tell you I'm feeling pretty salty just because the cover shows these containers for lip gloss. Meanwhile, this is my thumbnail. Here are the jars. Here's my thumbnail next to the jars.
Bruh.
Alright, so here's what we get. So obviously I can't remove this. So we're getting 3 lip colors, red, gold, and midnight blue. No, it's not red, it's razzmatazz. Didn't know that was a color. Why would you put real colors like midnight blue, gold, and then razzmatazz? Razzmatazz. Consistency is important. And then we get 3 flavors, one in blueberry, banana mania, which I'm super excited about, and cherry, which I am not a fan of cherry. Time for a sniff test. Blueberry smells like melted popsicle. It's pretty glittery though, pretty glittery. Banana mania smells like candy banana. Pretty glittery. Just to be very clear, the smells are extremely faint, so don't count on them being, nice smelling, because now it's on my lip in its pure form and I don't smell it very strongly, so you really have to whiff it. And then cherry. I hate cherry, but come on, where's the smell? It smells like nothing. And then this, sorry excuse of a container, pretty tiny. This is what you're carrying around. Just not to hurt your feelings, they added a little rainbow charm that is not rainbow. Where are my colors? And then in the back, you have a hanging spoon. That's pretty sad. Look how tiny it is, because nothing else is gonna fit in those containers, am I right? Nothing. I am so salty today because Crayola has done things to me. Crayola's the bad man, because Crayola's products have traumatized me. Look, my voice is cracking. Trauma. Alright, right away I can tell you there's something that bugs me. We have 3 lip flavors, and then we have 3 lip colors. Which one of these is the lip balm? So in essence, according to the instruction paper, which by the way, color, good job Crayola, almost every other kit was like black and white. All we're doing is mixing, one colorant to the flavor. And that's supposed to be a kit. This kit is advertised for 8-year-old and over. But what's going on here is that you're telling them, you don't know what you're doing, you're too young, or maybe just not smart enough. So just mix a little bit of this thing with a little bit of that thing, and it's a DIY. Look, ooh, accomplishment. That is not how you do DIYs. That is dumbing things down hardcore. It's getting a little too salty in here. Need some water. All right, without further delay, let's make a lip balm. Alright, so here's what it looks like. I am really curious to know how much does this weigh in grams. So luckily for you, I brought a scale. So an empty container is 2 grams. A filled up container that we haven't used yet is, really? 3 grams? In essence, it is 1 gram of lip balm. You want to do the math? Let's do the math. Alright, so we paid about $16 Canadian and we get to do 6 of them, right? Holy carb! Oh my gosh. $2.67 per 1 gram of lip balm. If that doesn't scream scammage! You know what? I'm gonna make all of them and we're gonna see if we actually have any leftovers. Just to be see how much is left in here. My guess is that you could probably make a few more, but let's pull that apart. It's kind of hard to tell. So you can't see it here because it's kind of really faint, but there's about a third left in each one. So to be fair, you could probably fill up another one of these again. Probably not all the colors, but you could do it. So if we're going to be extra fair, let's divide that 260 into 2, so about $1.30-ish per 1 gram. So let's go test it out. Well, hello there. You like to be close? Because I do. All right, so first things first, I have a feeling it's not lip color, but rather no color. So first of all, it's gooey, which means that after you do your lips, you're gonna have to wipe your hand on someone's shirt or something. Wow, that is some ugly, ugly balm. Oh, that's nasty. It's supposed to be the blueberry? Or does it taste like garbage? It's not green. Where's the cover? Oh, there it is. You don't have cover. You have to carry the whole thing. For those of you wondering, this is the ingredient list, and it looks like it could have allergens in there too. So if you have any allergies, obviously avoid this stuff. Yeah, it's really nasty. I need a napkin. Let's go over there and talk about the cons and the pros. Time to find out. Is this kit worth I can't even say it with a straight face. Oh my gosh. All right, let's just get into the cons because I got quite the list. This kit is so dumbed down. How little do you have to think of your 8-year-olds and over to do a kit that is not really a kit? It's just put A with B, voila. It honestly is worse, I would say, than the Craft City lip balm kit. Worse because Crayola has a reputation to keep, whereas the Craft City one, just don't buy it because the glitter in there is not actually glitter that you can put on your mouth. The containers are so tiny. You're going to see, I'm going to put this right next to a normal size container versus the container that they give you. I don't understand how cheap they could have been. The scents. I expected it to smell nice. Every time we've had these soap kits, even the ones from Kiss Naturals, the smell was there. You knew that the lip balm smelled something pretty good. It smells like nothing. It's pretty disappointing. The tiny spoon. I have nothing against tiny spoons, but even the tiniest of spoons that they could find was too big for the container. I don't think I live under a rock, but I'm pretty sure that is not the texture of lip balm. It's gooey. It's not any of the lip balms I've ever dealt with. Leewaying from goo, we're going into messy. Because it is a gooey lip balm, once you apply it, you have to wipe your hands somewhere because you can't just, move it around. You're gonna get glitter everywhere and it just, yeah. Playability. It took me about 45 seconds to make each one. Now let's be generous and say 1 minute per little container. 10 minutes of playability for $15. This is an expensive kit. Let's not kid ourselves. If you were going to do this one time, for each gram more or less of lip balm, you are paying $2.67. Whereas if you were going to make it twice, which I highly doubt you will, it'll be about $1.33-ish. So expensive. It's really messy to mix. You have to be super careful and your fingers are gonna cramp because the spoon is so tiny. It has nothing to do with small hands. Just trust me. Hold anything super slim, no matter how big or little your hands are, you're gonna cramp. So it's a messy mixture. I've put lip balm on and I've never felt so gross before. Yeah, the Craft City one just felt weird because it was scratchy and it felt like sandpaper on your lips. But this one really felt like you were just putting a coat of butter on your lips and it felt heavy. Ew, double ew, gross. On the label it says lip color, but it's not a color. That could be misleading for those of you who thought that it would actually color. Because the container comes in an elongated form, there is a potential for it to unscrew somehow if it's in a backpack or a bag. And can you imagine the gooey mess that it would leave? What I don't like about this kit is the fact that it assumes you are doing this alone or doing it only for yourself. So if you wanted to make for someone else, you can't because they only give you one lid. The rest kind of go together. So if you wanted to close another one, you have to put an empty one on top of it, which makes no sense whatsoever. So this is not a shareable activity. As a crafter, I look for kits that are going to get me into a new hobby or make me want to learn a little more. This kit gives you nothing of value. I learned nothing. I am not into lip balm. This is not getting me excited about doing it again. It's just a gateway to disappointment. All right, I have one pro, and the pro is it's shiny. That's all I got for you. It's shiny. With that said, dang nabbit, Crayola, why you do this to yourself? I give this kit a 0 on 10 dorks. I feel so jiffed. The activity is dumbed down. It's not something I would ever even gift to my enemy. It just feels like a waste of time, waste of money, waste of skills, waste of a learned opportunity. If you think this is worth it, by all means, go ahead and buy it. But I'm telling you right now, this is a 0, an absolute 0 on 10 in my books. It matches the Klutz Circuit Clay, which also got a 0 on 10. These are the only 2 zeros I've given so far on SaltEcrafter. I could be salty, but I can be fair. And in this case, it deserves that 0. Wow, I am so salty. It's not something I would ever even gift to my enemy. It deserves that 0. I learned nothing. If you want to watch another salty review, make sure you click up here. If you want to watch a crafting video, because I upload those every week, click over here. I don't know what that was, but not creepy at all. Until then, I will see you guys in the next video.